Hey world, it's your girl Nina Love. Thanks for being here. This is my regular Wednesday video podcast. Every Wednesday I sit down and talk about different topics. Most times it's about love and relationships, marriage, heartache, and divorce. And if it's not about that, it'll eventually be about that. So thanks for being here. I know I've been kind of missing in action. Last week, Wednesday, YouTube died for a couple hours. Yes, YouTube was offline for a couple hours, which was like, what the heck is going on? I can't live without my YouTube. Ooh, that was kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah, so last Wednesday I didn't post one because YouTube died. But I'm glad it came back up. Anyway, thanks for being here. Today's topic, I know I have a stack of topics that people have inboxed or texted me or emailed me. Thank you for your input. I'm going to cover those topics eventually. But this week I want to talk about fighting for love. I know there's people close to me in my life or anybody who's just been going through it in their relationship or in their marriage where the best thing they feel like to do is to split. And having been one on the receiving end of somebody who wanted to split twice, I can laugh about it now, but in it was not that fun. But I laugh about it now only because I'm in such a great place now. But so I just wanted to talk about that, to talk about, I was on the receiving end of somebody wanting to leave. So let's talk about fighting for love. In one of my favorite movies, The Best Man, starring Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan. I think it came out in the early 2000s. I think it's in the toast at the end in the wedding, and I think they're talking about. He says something about that their kind of love is worth preserving, and that has always made an impact on me. Like, it has always been near and dear to me, that scene in the movie where he's talking about like their love is worth preserving. And so there's three things I want to talk about when we're talking about fighting for love and maintaining that relationship and preserving, that love is worth preserving if you have it. I mean, barring that there's no abuse and that the only problem you're having right now is that both of you can't stand each other, these are the three things I wish you would think about. And I hope you will think about if you're in it and you're wanting to end the relationship, or you're wanting to walk away, or you're wanting to cheat, or, you're just wanting to do something drastic to switch it up or change up. And so the first thing is, don't give up. That is number one. Don't give up. And I know it sounds so corny and so stupid and it's so simplistic, but really that's what it is. Like, you put so many years into a relationship, whatever. For instance, my last marriage was 13 years. And when you put so much time and energy and effort and emotion and love, and you're fully invested, like you have shared your life with someone for so long, like, don't give up. Like, you may not like each other at that moment, and it may be like 2 years, 3 years before you start liking each other again. But it's sticking to it and remembering the vows that you made when you married, or whatever, when you vowed to each other. Some people are not wedding people, but whatever it is, like, if you committed to this person, that you remember what you committed to. That you didn't say, I'm gonna be committed to you until it gets hard, then I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna be committed to you until I'm bored, and then I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna stay committed to you until I can't stand you, then I'm gonna walk away. So if that's the vows you made, then by all means walk away. But if that's not the vow, like when you got married, when you asked that person or you agreed to marry someone and you said, I would love you forever, I would love you till death do us part, or whatever was part of your vows, remember those. Remember that. And the emotion and the feeling that brought you to that place that said, oh, you know what? I'm going to commit my life to you. And you committed your life to this person, not till death do us part. I mean, not till it was hard, not till you're bored, you know, like you committed. So remember that and don't give up. Does that make sense? The second thing I wanted to talk about was came from when I visited my aunt and uncle in Riverside, California, my auntie Noy and my uncle Tony. My uncle Tony told me, and I was fresh, newly married, 21. This was with my first husband. 21, fresh, married, so in love, blah, blah, blah. Having all the expectation and hopes and all the fairy tales still and the stars in my eyes. And my Uncle Tony told me to, he said, the best, and it wasn't even a year that I'd been married. It had only been a couple months. And we were visiting my Uncle Tony and Auntie Noy. And he said to me, he said, niece, the best advice I can give you is to have no expectations. And he said, have no expectations and you will never be disappointed. And at the time, I didn't understand what he was saying. And I was thinking, what do you mean no expectations? I have stars in my eyes. There's fairy tales to be lived with this marriage. You know, like I was in that la la goo goo land that I love to live in. And I still live in that land. But I didn't understand it then. And that is 22 years ago. And so I'm 22 years older and I thoroughly understand what he meant by that now. Like, having no expectations doesn't mean that you don't have expectations. You know, like you do have expectation. You have expectation that the mate and partner you have will love and honor and cherish and respect you, that will not abuse you, that will not cheat on you. You have those basic expectations. But beyond that, there's no expectations. You know, there's no, I need you to be like this before I can, you know, or I'm going to be mad at you, you know. He was saying, or how I interpret it now, is that I'm going to accept my partner exactly how he is. Exactly how he is. Like, I don't want my man to change for me. I want him to be exactly how he is. I want him to be his most authentic, that I have no expectation of how he should behave. I want him to always come from a genuine place and be his most authentic and most honest. Whatever that is, even if it means hurting me. And I've always lived like that, even though 2 of my exes broke my heart. My first husband left me. My second husband left me. Never once was I bitter. Was I hurt? Was my heart broken? Absolutely. And I went through it for months, years. And, but I never wished ill on them. And I always, always, always wished love and happiness for them. And that I hope they do. And I hope that they are happy wherever they are in this world. I hope they're happy. But, so that is how, for me, I want to accept my man, my partner, exactly how he is. And never, I don't ever want them to change because I have an expectation that this is what I need you to be. No, I always want my partner to be his most authentic. And I want to love and accept him unconditionally, just exactly as he is. And so that is my second point, that there be no expectations. No expectations, meaning that you will love and cherish and honor your person, your partner, your spouse, exactly as they are. You know? So many times we go into a relationship and we have these grand, lofty dreams about what love is supposed to be like, what marriage is supposed to be like. And there's no expectations. Live in the moment, right here, right now. And if right here and right now is XYZ, then let it be that, and accept your partner, your spouse, your mate, exactly as they are. Not try to change them, not wanting them to be something that they're not, but to love them exactly as they are. And so that was my second point. So first point was to not give up. Don't give up. Second is no expectations. No expectations, meaning you have no expectation of them to be anything that they're not, right? Accept them exactly as they are. And then finally, my final point is to serve. Love doesn't need to be complicated, and love is actually so selfless and unconditional. And the more selfless you are, the more you work with your mate and your partner from a place of selflessness or a place of service, it comes right back to you. So many times we get caught up thinking, oh my gosh, but he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. I know I'm guilty of that. And it was driving me crazy and making me miserable because I had all these high expectations and of how he should be doing this for me and he should be doing this and that and all these things. And it was making me crazy because that's not my authentic self. That's not the place that I come from in my heart. I'm very generous in the way I love and serve my person, my spouse, my mate, my partner. I come from that place where, how can I help you? You know, like, and it's not like they're helpless but to give your partner and see your partner the way God would see them, or to see them not from a place where, how can you help me? Or how can you love me? This is what I need from you. But to love and honor your spouse from a place of, how can I help you? How can I be your best, like, ride or die chick? Like, that is always my approach. Like, let me show you what I can do. And you know what is funny? I was talking to my bestie this morning, and I was telling her how I hope he's not watching this, how my current beau is, he's only seeing half of my love. Like, he has never gotten the full generosity of who I am yet. I mean, I feel like I don't have to. I feel like he's super satisfied with what I do, how I do love him, you know, or how I do show that I care about him. But he has not seen even 50% of the generosity of my heart. And I come from that place of giving and being selfless and giving to your partner, your spouse, your mate, from a place of being of service to that person, changes the dynamic of the relationship. So you can apply that to any relationship. And I wish I did this more with my mother before she passed away, to come from a place of service and not from a place of being a victim of, like, oh my gosh, you don't do this for me. And oh my gosh, we had such a terrible relationship because you're a terrible communicator. There's my junk coming out. But, you know, like, in any relationship you have, if you come from a place of, how can I serve you? How can I be better for you? Or how can I help you, support you in what you do? Then it changes the whole dynamic of the relationship. Whatever it is, not just romantic relationships, but in your friendships and in your family relationships. If you come from a place of serving, it changes everything. And even though we do have needs, we all have needs and different things that we want our partner to fulfill in us. But what I've come to learn over the last 2 years, having split from my ex, is that I am enough by myself, that I don't need somebody else's glimmer to boost mine, because I am enough on my own. With or without you, I'm still enough, you know? So my partner, he's not there to fulfill anything that I'm lacking, because I am enough. So we complement each other and enjoy each other's company, not to validate each other, because he's enough and I'm enough, that you're not fulfilling something that's not already there. So my cup is overflowing and I have so much love to give. And so it doesn't need to be complicated. And my love is generous and selfless. So that's my third point, is to come from a space of service. How can I serve you? That is what it is. So what was number one? Number one was, don't give up. Keep trying. Love is worth preserving. Number two is no expectations. No expectations. Accept your partner exactly as they are and not try to change them, and learn to love the way they are. And then the third and final one is to love from a place of service. And I know it seems hard. For some people, it's very hard, but it's not hard for me. That's the place that I come from all the time, is how can I help you? How can I make you see the best in you? How can I make you a better man? How can I add value to you? You know what I'm saying? Not that he needs it, but that's the place that I come from in my heart. Anyway, so those are my 3 things this week. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Nah, I'm not. But anyway, thanks for being here, everybody, and have a great week. Let me know what you think in the comments or in my inbox, and holla. Have a great week, everybody.